Everybody say happy birthday to Marcos.
Happy birthday,
Oh,
Marcos!
true. Happy birthday, Marcos. This is facts. That's why he's not here, because it's
Is
his
it today or
birthday.
tomorrow?
Today.
Oh! I didn't DM him at midnight last night. I can't believe this.
Yeah.
Me and him are gonna go get wasted tomorrow.
That's why we're recording today.
Yep.
Happy birthday, Marcos.
Happy birthday, Marcos, and welcome to the Route Podcast.
Welcome.
Three.
Today
Talk
we have...
about
We all spoke at
gonna
the same time.
on this episode of the podcast, we all talk at the exact same time.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
That's what I'm talking about. But
Well,
yes,
yeah.
we all
Well, so
it, like,
we
just
do
like
we do
this.
that.
Just so that no one can
well,
hear
we're talking.
anything.
Yeah, but nobody can hear what we're talking about.
This is terrible.
But, you know, but this is completely normal. You know.
I want to go home.
You are her.
Watch the.
I don't want you know.
Yeah, I know.
I feel you.
Yes.
That's what
National
that's
holiday, Marco's birthday.
I feel when I play Reg D.
Okay. We're gonna talk
guess
about this because what is I am most interested about your feelings towards Hisuian Goodra. I hope they're positive. Smile.
I heard
So-
that positive.
Smile.
So
Wow.
I'm gonna make this like executive decision and say this is the Regulation D talk episode because we have like 3 videos titled that, but we don't actually talk about Reg D for more than like 5 minutes in those.
I guess
So-
it's true.
Title it. It's like, what else am I supposed to title?
No, I know you're valid. It's like a teaser. It's like now it's actually happening. The Reg D is the new VGC format that's only going to be played at Worlds, and it's what is available on ladder right now on cartridge and Showdown. I've been telling people that I have very strong feelings about Hisuian Goodra because those are the new guys that got added, the Hisui guys from Legends Arceus. Hisuian Goodra is like maybe the most like controversial Pokemon I've ever played against ever, and I don't know how else to say that other
Is
than
it?
controversial. Yeah, it's
I
like
have not heard anyone talk about it besides you right now.
no, it's just me. This is just a me thing. This
Oh,
is like
but
this
it's
is-
controversial for you.
Yeah, this is like the same concept and same energy of me saying like Tinglu's gonna be bad, and then it's rank 5 in usage, and then like Zacian's gonna be worse than Ultra Necrozma in Sun Moon. Sword Shield, jeez, I don't even know where I am anymore.
Where's Zacian and Sun Moon?
Zacian in Sun Moon, the metagame I didn't play. Yeah,
Yep,
kick it
yeah.
off. Dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Hisui Goodra right now on closed team sheet ladder, so like playing on cartridge, or if your opponent closes sheets on Showdown. It's just so stupid. The Pokemon just feels awful. It's like if you get the read right on what their ability and item is, it's the most free Pokemon to farm of all time. It's like, oh, I know what you are. GG, shake my hand. Right? If you don't know what you are, what a Hisuian Goodra is, and you give it a free turn by sporing into it and its Sap Sipper, or like Wicked Blowing into it and its Shell Armor, it's like, haha, idiot, I win now. It's like, really? That's not like if you know, Goodra feels garbage. If you don't know, Goodra feels amazing. And that's why I feel it's controversial. It's because, like, I don't think it's a bad Pokemon. This is me growing from my mistakes and saying, like, Tinglu's bad and Zacian's bad.
Learn from your mistakes. Don't say it's bad
Goodra
because
will
watch it win
be-
Worlds.
Goodra will be good and will be used. And I can see it being, like, maybe not on the usage statistic at Worlds, but, like, on a decent number of teams.
Yeah.
That said, I think what we're gonna find out about Hisuian Goodra is its like usage is gonna be the highest right now, and it will be on the decline for the rest of Regulation D. And we're gonna find out after this weekend because Victory Road tournaments tomorrow, Pokeball tournaments tomorrow, stuff
True.
like that.
I am excited for Victory. Did you say you were going to play in that, or are you ditching that to go party with Marcos?
That's exactly what is happening. I'm ditching it to party with Mark.
Okay, sweet. If I had an in-game team, I may have participated. I definitely want to get into a Reg D tournament before Worlds because I don't think I'm gonna have any locals until like after. But we'll see. I want to say, this is going to sound really stupid, but hear me out. I think Hisuian Goodra is Dondozo right now, in the way that it is overused right now because it's funny, but by people who don't know how to pilot that type of Pokemon, and so it feels really bad, but once someone learns how to really play this Pokemon, it's gonna be good. Iron Defense Body Press has been good since Sword and Shield. I don't see how it could possibly be bad, but it's the kind of thing where people either they put it in the back and they just click Iron Defense over and over and over and over, but they didn't target your special attacker, so it dies in 2 shots. You know, that kind of thing. Or leading Dondozo Tatsugiri every single game, no matter what the opponent's team is, or no matter what you know about their team, you know, just blindly, and then you get hazed. It's that kind of thing, I feel like. I think that
Yes.
Ursaluna is in a very, very similar spot because it feels so easy to deal with right now, like hilariously easy, but also I'm running Corviknight, so shush. But I think that it's gonna be one of those things that once people figure out how to use this tool, it's gonna be a good tool.
I think
makes
that's a
sense.
very amazing way to say that, because I think what people are trying to do with Goodra and also the bear is like splash it on multiple types of teams. I don't think it fits on everything. I think it fits on
agree.
one very specific type of balance or one very specific type of Trick Room core for
Yes.
the bears example.
I very much agree.
And when it's like brought in weird ways, then it's like that's what messes me up is like, dude, be normal. Like, what are you, right? Open the team sheet. If I know what you are, you lose. Always to me, right? Like, the team I'm running currently is like screens set up bulky type stuff. So like a Moongus, Grimmsnarl, Moltres, Galar with Nasty Plot and Leftover.
Oh my god, guess what I'm running?
It's very same. Very similar
The same
stuff.
thing, but with a different bird!
Hers is a Corviknight. Mine clicks spread move flinchy.
Mine
Hers clicks Iron Head flinchy. So it's
Mine
it's the same.
clicks Iron Head flinchy. Same bird, handshake.
Very big handshake. And that's what's comfortable for me right now. Because it's very good into a lot of the balances that are being used with Ursaluna and Sluggo guy, what's it called, Goodra, is like the Urshifu, Rillaboom, insert fire type, and then you have Anchormon in like either Cresselia, Goodra, Landorus, those kind of guys. The fire types is usually a Heatran on stuff like that. And that's what's most popular right now, I think, right? Like, we probably going to get into the usage statistics later, but like Tornadus and Urshifu are number 2 and 3. Only behind Fluttermane. Which makes sense, because Fluttermane's just the queen of Scarlet Violet, so...
Fluttermane at 49 even, or wait, is that a 0.03% usage according to Pikalytics, is kind of insane to me, because I thought that with something like Heatran being in the format and things like Cresselia, like the bulk level going up overall, and the fact that it's still doing fantastic, like good for you, girl. Go crazy.
Yeah, I thought the same thing would happen. I was like, oh, maybe Fluttermane falls, because we have like new steel types and new good guys with good BST, and then Urshifu Rapid Strike came out at the same time and was like, I got you, my queen.
My queen.
Urshifu sims so hard for Fluttermane.
Fire types,
Urshifu.
bam. Steel types, bam. Poison types, a little bit.
Yeah, but, like, who's
Alolan
it-
Muck,
there-
my boy.
Yeah, like what poison types did we get outside of Muck, which can't keep up?
Muck! Sneasler, who
Terra
is
poison
made of
types.
glass. Terra poison types, yeah, that's the
Terra
thing.
Poison Cresselia is fire. Sneasler did drop. Brady, you've been using Sneasler, right?
Yeah.
I'm surprised to see it so... Where is it on the rankings right now? Like, in the usage? It's
It's-
not even on the thing that you sent us.
It's not on the usage stats, not even top like 10 or 15, but closer to that area is Indeedee, which is a very big jump compared to what it has been
True.
Yeah.
True. Indeedee's fantastic right now with Rillaboom coming in as another terrain setter and
Yeah.
all of this, you know,
at.
priority
Fake
moves.
out priority guys. Yeah.
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 Chien-Pao Dragonite on the rise also makes Indeedee a lot better as well.
It's a blessing and a curse at the same time. Like, Chien-Pao is like the devil when it comes to the like because I've got like 2 teams who are running Sneasel around and they're both in DD teams. Like I've got like a regular like hyper offense mode one, and then I've got one with like gimmick like weak armor weakness policy
Yeah.
Honor Rouge. But like they lead like Chien-Pao into like Indeedee or like they have like a Rillaboom or like they just lead Chien-Pao Dragonite. What they do is they just like ice spin a turn 1 Like I spin it
turn
because yeah, and then E speed is like, well, my terrain, my terrain,
no.
Like, at least for Sneasler, your setup is like pretty easy, and like if you can pivot around like to like deal with it, then you're all good. But like, goddamn, bro. But yeah, no. Indeed, against like Rillaboom is really good. I've been cheesing people, so I I like what I've been doing, at least in terms of like my Sneasler stuff, is because I don't know, it feels fun. It's fun. I get to click Sword Stance and follow me, and then also set terrain, and or if they clicked Sucker Punch, nope, die.
It feels like Roaring Moon to me. I don't know why. It just like in the similar vein of guy with one use move who is very strong physical attacker and is a little frail, but he can just explode you.
Acrobatics pilled.
Yeah,
I'm so acrobatics pilled.
Yeah. Oh, acrobatics is fun because you cover so much of what's good at the moment. Like, okay, let's look at the top. Let's look at the top guys right now. We got Fluttermane. Fluttermane just fucking dies to any like he dies to a terrifying acrobatics. Urshifu dies to a terrifying acrobatics. Tornadus, I don't think you Urko it, but like you
definitely do it KO though.
Yeah, you do a lot of
especially
damage.
if you get like a poison off Dire Claw or something.
Yeah. Or sleep. That's the best thing. That's my favorite. Whenever I click Dire Claw into something, hoping to it's like 2-hit KO, and then I put it to sleep, and it's like, ooh, baby.
It's like basically a 1-hit KO.
It's like,
yep.
Yes, got him. Amoonguss, terrifying acrobatics. Chien-Pao, they're normally running Focus Sash, which is like the main issue, because if you CC into it, then it's like, I've been dropped, and I die back.
My bones!
But if you're at +2 and you Dire Claw into him, you have like a 700% chance of poisoning him on their Focus Sash, so it's like, it doesn't even matter.
the only issue arises if they target into your Sneasler and let it continue doing its thing. Heatran dies to close combat. Landorus?
Or Acro.
Yeah, or Acro if it's
Or Acro if it's Terragrosses, yeah.
Yeah.
Or very generally...
Landorus Therian is on its come up. It did the thing where that it's done in every single generation, where it's like everyone's not running it at the beginning to be quirky, and then everyone's like, wait, no, it's still the GOAT.
Yeah.
I cannot figure out the right way to run it, because you know how Landorus is like every kind of ice cream at Baskin Robbins ever. He can do whatever the hell he wants.
Yep.
I can't figure out, like... Because we're so polarized right now into bulky Trick Room and hyper offense. And I want to be the balanced player in the middle. And finding...
Balance is trending up, I'll tell you that.
It's going up. I know that, especially with things like Heatran being used as more of just an attacker, I think is really neat. But I don't know, Lando, I don't know, I got a Garchomp who does the same thing and can't be intimidated and does chip damage to Urshifu Rapid, so...
Yeah.
The thing that I think Landorus' niche right now is more similar to what it was doing at the beginning of, I want to say, Regulation. I don't remember which one it was. When Landorus was available to be used in Sword and Shield, it was doing the same things as that, where it's on a team with a Grimmsnarl, it's running an Assault Vest, it's very bulky, but it still has an attack stat. So it's just, I think the way someone put it to me best, I think this was Nails, that was giving me advice in Players Cup 2 or Players Cup 1, one of the Players Cups, where we ran a very similar team, but his had a Landorus over one of my Pokemon. And I asked him, I was like, what is this Landorus doing on your team? And why is it not like Life Orb with Airstream? Because at that point, it was like everybody Life Orb Airstream. And he told me that like under screens, that thing is just unkillable. You have an Assault Vest, so you're boosting your Spadef. You have Intimidate, so you're boosting your defense. You're a Landorus. You turn in and out to get both of those like in the position that you want to, and you just chip or like it like you said, it can do anything, and it's doing something very similar to what it did in Sword Shield with the screen stuff. Like it's Grimmsnarl's best friend.
I agree. Something I do find pretty interesting is that Lando, like, Incarnate, I saw a lot in the beginning and now just doesn't exist. I think it's because there's a lot of rain teams, and Lando T can pivot around those a little bit better. But, I can't see how... I feel like Rain... This bold prediction by me. I think Rain's gonna be doing very, very well in Worlds. And I've seen it mostly because it's Tornadus, it's Urshifu Terra Watering, and doing the same thing Palafin did by just stacking every multiplayer it can get, and then just poof, 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 you're dead.
Yep. Oh yeah, my god, like, we haven't even talked about Tornadus Urshifu just as a synergy together. They they cover everything.
They are besties. It's wonderful to see. But I don't know, I think I can't see a world where spread ground type move that has a chance to, burn you?
Yeah. Is
a bad thing. Maybe there's just not a lot of super effective things you hit right now. That could be what it is. There's a lot of levitating.
I've thought about it a lot, like, fitting on a rain team, because it needs that accuracy boost to be consistent.
Yeah.
Because, like, otherwise it's like clicking 2 hydro pumps in one turn, and you don't want to be doing that.
Roll the dice.
It reminds me a lot, not in the same way of, like, dropping your own damage, but in the way of nerfing yourself to water moves. Of if you ran Landorus Eye on a rain team, it feels like the same kind of concept of, like, oh, do I really want, like, a fire type on rain? You know what I mean? Like, maybe you don't need it.
I kind of get that.
Especially when, like, pretty much all rain is Tornadus right now, or maybe Thund, right? But, like, yeah, I think Lando Eye... I think it'll have some Worlds presence, but I think it's going to be even less presence than Goodra at Worlds. So,
which is funny because I don't see Goodra on these ratings that you've posted here. That goes to about Grimmsnarl at 5%.
Goodra is the current trend up. Actually, Goodra is above Grimmsnarl.
Oh no, I see Hisuian Goodra. I want to talk about how the fuck does Regidrago have more usage than Grimmsnarl? That's so funny. That's so funny. The amount of Dragon Claw, Tailwind, like, you know, with a Tailwind guy, Regidrago, I've seen is really funny, and it's hilarious how easy it is to deal with.
Dragon Claw?
I got Misty Terrain on my Grimmsnarl. You ain't doing shit.
I think she meant Dragon Energy, but
yeah, Dragon Claw, like the Dragon Fang is the item.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
My bad. It looks like a claw. It looks like a claw.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, it's.
It is way easier to deal with in this gen than it feels like last, and I don't know why that is, but
no, I think there's just, you know, Flutter, like, we have Fluttermane as a good fairy type, but it is like the one good fairy type.
Yeah, really, it's like the only fairy type.
Yeah, besides Terra. So I think I'm betting something.
Oh, you know who it is? It's fucking Qianpao's fault again.
Oh no, you're right. Sucker Punch.
If they have Tailwind, you Sucker Punch it. If they don't have Tailwind, it explodes to Ice Spinner.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that. You're right.
Qianpao bossed way up in this format compared to the last one, and it was already doing well for itself in the last one.
It's because now we get, like, the genies, and it kills the genies. So the genies being good, by extension, make it good, which is kind of silly.
Yeah, and it also helps that you could just put Urshifu next to it and be like, I'm gonna click strong move.
That post of how do we build a hyper offense team that's been going on around on Twitter, I don't remember who made it, but it was so funny.
This shit is so funny. And also, by the way, it is number 1 through 5 on usage. That is the meme of this team. Is like,
yep.
How do we build hyper offense? And it was using
we need a special attacker. What's a good special attacker for this generation? Fluttermane!
And the funniest part about that video to me is that they were building a Cleavor team, and the caption was like, how do you make any shitmon work?
No, you're wrong. It was worse than Cleavor. It was a Heracross.
You're right.
I feel so bad. I don't want to talk down to my boy Heracross like that, but oh my god, buddy.
I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I thought he was a better bug.
I have seen a surprising number of Cleavor on low ladder, and I think that's really neat. I think, hear me out. So I'm just gonna run Glamora, Cleavor, and Hisuian Samurott all on the same team.
Get 'em up.
And then I'm going to run Sandtomb Tinglu and Salt Kierkegaard.
If you switch, you're fucked. If you stay in, you're trapped.
Listen, I'm ready to put people in the blender. Okay, something just popped into my brain. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place right now because I haven't talked about Pokemon in a really long time. I was very busy all last weekend, which I'm sure I will get into at some point. But last weekend I was able to watch NAIC and seeing the Flamigo Dondozo team was really cool because it had an adjustment of yeah.
I didn't know about this.
You didn't know about this? That shit was
what the fuck are
crazy.
you talking about?
Wolf and his friend, who I feel terrible because here I am calling out the celebrity and I can't remember his friend's name, who used the exact same team. But it was Perish Trap with Dondozo and then Tatsugiri so they could perish their own Tatsugiri and then Flamigo to switch in and get the boosts.
Oh my god,
But-
it's like from the beginning of the gen.
Exactly, right? I'm like, how the hell is he doing so well? Oh, it's because people aren't prepared for this gimmick anymore. Anyway, I can't remember if it was on that Dondozo team or a different Dondozo team that I watched a match of, but there was this tech of Yon Dondozo next to Santum Tinglu, and the idea is that anything that your hyper offense guys in the back can't OHKO, you do that combo to them, you get them stuck in with Santum, and then you can Yon them for free, and they're asleep and they can't switch out. And the same kind of concept can work with Gothitelle and a Yon Pokemon. Seeing that, like, clicked something in my brain. It's such an obvious, like, combination to do, but it was so neat seeing it pulled off. I don't know what it was. I think that's really cool. So if bulk becomes the trend later on, I could totally see just an unaware leftovers Dondozo on his own doing silly things.
I do know that won NAIC.
Yeah. That's where I saw it.
Nice. That was oh my god, how am I forgetting? Okay, Alex, right? That was
I think so.
God, I'm gonna
No, Lynn, I'm terrible with names. Listen,
I don't know why I remember Ragov. I know Ragov was in finals.
Yeah. Anyone, this is a PSA to anyone I have ever met before, or if I'm ever talking about you on this podcast. If I forget your name, I swear it's not because I don't care. I have really shit short-term memory.
I know what you look like in my head, but my brain can't remember names
Exactly.
on the fly. Forget that I remember the entire Pokedex by heart, but your name, my bad.
Bro, I forgot. I will never forget the day I forgot what Scizor was called, but I could envision him perfectly in my mind. Like
he's got like these scissors for hands.
I think this is the visual thinker difference, maybe.
Yeah, very much so. Graphic design brain.
Oh, a curse. A curse. But yeah,
what were you gonna
I am wondering if you don't. I'm sorry, Michael. I don't mean to interrupt you if you have a point.
No, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna ask Brady how he feels about. Like, I know you've been using Sneasler, and using Armarouge I think is really cool because I think spread damage is on the up, and there's not a lot of good wide guard users besides maybe Pelipper, and even then it can barely afford the slot. I was wondering. Who do you have your eyes on? Like, what have you been noticing any trends? Because I haven't been laddering for a bit.
I mean, I haven't really noticed trends per se. I know what's good. Like, I think you're giving me a lot more credit than I actually than I deserve.
You're the only one of us
wondering.
who's been playing cartridge ladder, is all I'm saying. So.
Oh,
It's like a lot of like Chien-Pao Dragonite, Heatran, like I have like a Shifu Heatran, Rillaboom, like that's just the norm.
The fire water grass, yeah.
Firewater grass.
And like
baby.
there's been a few things. Like obviously we were talking about Hisuian Goodra before. I've been using a team that's like soft like hyper offense with like that as like a mode. It's got like a snarl Chi-Yu on it. It's like I think it's good. It's just it's a one that I've been just enjoying a lot recently.
Chi-Yu?
Goodra.
Oh, Goodra. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no, for the most part, yeah, I don't really there much. I'm still kind of picking up on shit.
Me too.
I thought about like Bramblegast as like a Pokemon, just as like a niche like sort of guy to choose, like with all the Tailwind and stuff going around, and
Wait, you're immune to.
You completely will Torna Shifu.
I didn't
is
think
cool.
about that actually. That's
also
kind of neat.
Also, eat Heatran Heatwave.
Yeah.
Wait, you're right. Because it's an immunity. It's not just like boosted after getting hit, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I'm
like
very excited to see somebody make it work.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I will not be that guy. But I'm excited to see.
Maybe this is Bramblegas time to shine. Shout out to all the retweet if you're a true Bramble. I don't fucking know what I'm saying. But I know that people have been trying to get that mon to work since release. So
Yep. Oh yeah.
no way. You're kinda I don't know.
Terra,
I think
Terra Gerst Terra Blast with like Tailwind Tornadoes just like is a
Oh
huge nuke on
yeah.
anything, I feel like. Sorry,
Yeah.
interrupted.
No. You're. I'm having a stroke.
Yeah. Also, you have Shadow Sneak on Flutter mains. Because I guess Shadow Sneak, but no other physical coverage apart from Phantom Force. So, no, that's cool. I mean, obviously, I think that Rain will eventually get its time, like it always does. Like Pelipper Basket Legion with like a Torn plus like other stuff.
I really want to get a Basket Legion to work because that and Ursaluna are my like number one Pokemon I want to get to work this generation. The viable Pokemon, I should say. If anyone can make a good Dunsparce team that doesn't fully rely on paraflinching, I don't know. I'll hug you and give you a high five. Give me that, please, because my poor little snake is so garbage. It makes me so sad. He's got every move. He learns every single move, and yet he's still mid as fuck.
Just use
So
defense curl rollout. Smile.
I
We
think
need to
roll
talk
out random
about this.
targets.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Okay.
But
No,
Brady, we
it's-
need to talk. We need to have a talk about your rollout addiction.
It's so funny. So if you guys haven't like watched any of the free for alls, it's specifically Iron Treads that I use it on overtime. There's a set that I've been using like every game, and it's like literally find a new way to set Electro Terrain so I can switch in my Iron Treads. Click Defense Curve and Terra Rock roll out everything, or like if I don't have a Terra left, just click Earthquake. So that's been going on. But
Yeah, like Iron Treads.
I do. Iron Treads is fun. I want to use it eventually. Like especially when Miraidon comes out.
Does it get that steel move from Gen
Steel
last
Roller
gen? Steel Roller, the one that breaks terrain.
sure does.
Might be kind of interesting.
But
Maybe
I
and
like.
Rillaboom are both good
I
right
really
now.
liked Brady made a team of it with Thunderous, and then you set up Electric Terrain with Thunderous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could do. It's like what'd you call it? Weather week or whatever. You can do terrain week this time.
Yo!
Terrain
That'd be
hype.
time.
Triple terrain guy.
Oh my
Electric
God.
terrain Thund, Indeedee, Rillaboom, and Iron Treads.
Yeah.
Yes.
Iron Treads does its thing. Just a Choice Bandit with like a
Literally just banded steel roller.
Choice Band Steel Roller, Terra Steal it. Just
Yeah. And then just keep rolling.
Rolling,
Yeah.
rolling.
Actually, I'm thinking about that. On the team, it's Terra Steel, not Terra Steel. It's Terra Ground, but it doesn't have and it's Choice Banded. So I probably Terra Steel it and like put Steel Roller on it. It has Ice Spinner on it. That's just to like hit
Hit the
Landorus,
Landorus.
hit the Grass types.
just put AV on it over Bandit.
Bandit is so cool.
It is so cool.
My first time using Landorus at the beginning of a format where Landorus is legal, and it feels like a drug. It feels like this is gonna make me make bad decisions later down the line.
He's a really awesome cat. I think
He's
I need
going to make me feel terrible at team building in 1 year from now.
I'm trying to get back in the habit of drawing almost every day, so I think I need to redraw a photo I did during Sun and Moon of Landorus playing with a laser pointer, like a cat.
Yeah.
Kitty man.
So I think
Man.
The little kitty man. You just need you having Lander's problems? He's not landing his rock slides? Just point the laser at the opposing Pokemon. And then he'll hit them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Be focused in.
Right now, it feels like, at least with Lander, it's like, okay, so what moves am I running? I can run Earthquake, but there's Rillaboom everywhere, so I run Stomping Tantrum. Oh yeah, I get Stomping Tantrum now, by the way. Also, you can set up with Sword Stance, you can Terra Flying, Terra Blast. Like, there's too much to do with it.
That's what's tricky, yeah.
I don't know if I want to make it bulky, if I want to make it fucking, like, set up Cool Guy, but also at the same time, if I want to make it set up Cool Guy, I've got to change the Terra type to maybe Fire so I don't get burnt, but also at the same time,
He gets me.
Urshifu's around, he's gonna
No, he gets me.
And I'm going to die!
Handshake, because I have no fucking clue to do with this cat. What is he doing here?
I have decision paralysis when it comes to Landorus, so I'm just not gonna put it in my team builder. It makes my life easier.
That's what I had in Gen 8 last gen, at the beginning of when Lando was legal, and now I'm like, oh, I see. I know what I want to do with you. I know what you want to be.
Life of Lander in Gen 8.
It's AV now. I think AV's the wave for Lando right now.
It's AV or like Rocky Helmet, like Terra Cross or some shit. Terra Water.
Grass Terra could be cool, yeah. So I felt so seen today when I was watching this Aaron Cybertron Zang video where he accidentally called Terra Blast Fly Lando Max Airstream because I've been doing the same thing. In my head, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna click Airstream. It feels the exact same way.
Have you seen the animation for it? Like the tiny,
same.
It looks like a tiny Max Airstream. Like that's what it looks like.
Imagine Max Airstream, but it doesn't give you speed. That's what Landorus's Terra Fly is. And it's like, oh, I miss Dynamax.
It's just as strong as well because of.
And you're under screens. Yeah, you have an Assault Vest. It feels like a Dynamax Pokemon. Is why I like Landorus right now.
I'm clicking Z flying. Hold up.
I can maybe see like a Clear Amulet Terra Fire Lando pop off, maybe, but I think Brady hit the nail on the head with that one, saying like Urshifu Rapid Searching Strikes really just kind of bones you, and that sucks. So.
Yeah,
you can do that with Garchomp, because one, you have a Rocky Helmet built in, you've got Rough Skin, and also Garchomp is faster, so
it's really the fast thing that makes it like way more able to be fire type than that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and also sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say because the fire allows you to like check Fluttermane because it's like the one thing that's faster than Garchomp.
Yeah, and also like Chi-Yu as well. Chi-Yu's like a big one. Like having to deal with Chi-Yu as a ground type, and then like because generally if you're running like an offensive ground type, you want to be outspeeding stuff like Chi-Yu, because otherwise you're just gonna get nuked with a Dark Pulse or whatever else it does. There.
Which, by the way, Chi-Yu is on the decline, which I never would have thought would have happened.
I'm surprised because I feel like it partners really well with this idea of get your guys bulky and then go, you know.
Chien-Pao is running the place at the moment.
Chien-Pao running the place, and I think Heatran. I don't want to call it new toy syndrome because it's Heatran and VGC, like it's a good Pokemon. And turning off Chi-Yu Heatwave is just very strong.
Oh yeah.
But I can see Heatran and Chi-Yu maybe start to level out later as the format goes on. Where like, we see a less Heatran but more Chi-Yu, because Chi-Yu Fluttermane. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
As someone who's been using Rillaboom Urshifu Chi-Yu, it's fucking awesome. It's so good. Like okay, so I'll disclose the team that I'm using is one, I forget what their name is, but they posted a hyper offense Goodra team. And the team is Goodra, Chi-Yu, Tornadus, Urshifu, Fluttermane, and Rillaboom.
Ooh, wait, I need that.
I'll try to find
give me that.
I'll try to find where I found it. I might have liked the tweet, I don't know. But I yoinked it. Wait, hold on. I might be able to find the perky paste.
If you can, that sounds wonderful. I like that a lot. I like the idea of bulky guy playing him like a setup offense mon. Shout out to Grochien, by the way. Love that guy.
Yeah.
I also
On that topic, I'm gonna need a couple of y'all, not you two, but like I'm talking to a couple of y'all in specific. Why the fuck were you gassing Wochien week 1 of Reg D? That shit did not make sense. I'm not even talking about Marcos. He ain't even here. I'd ask him directly. Nah, there's a couple of you that I know watch this, and I'm like, what the fuck? What were you cooking? Why? I don't understand it. And then you stopped using it. So like, what the fuck?
Okay, so here's the thing. It dies to the genies, which sucks. However, it can sit in front of Cresselia and Leech Seed it. It can sit in front of Ursaluna. It can sit in front of Urshifu Rapid Strike. It can sit in front of Iron Hands. Any physical attacker, it just sits there and slurps you up. And it's the same thing with like other like bulky Pokemon like Crest right now. Like Iron Hands again. What else is on here? Like Goodra, unless it's Sap Zipper, then you can't be Leech Seeded.
Yeah. My theory was that like at the beginning of Reg D, I think a lot of teams were like stacking what types of offenses they had. So like if you were a Chien-Pao team, you have 6 physical attackers, and that's maybe why Wochien felt a little better, is because like, yeah, you had Urshifu and Chien-Pao, and you could Terra and deal with both as Wochien, but then like they also had like Dragonite in back, and then some other guy like Scizor or something weird, right? Like, yeah, absolutely, Wochien makes sense into that. But I think now hyper offense teams are mixing in Pokemon like Fluttermane, Pokemon like Tornadus, Pokemon like Heatran.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think a lot of that is
Poor
actively
Wochien
dropping.
can't keep up. Yeah.
Yeah, Wochien tried, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna run a team with all 3 slugs at some point.
3.
Gastrodon, Wochien, Goodra.
Gudra's is.
For
It's a
reference,
snail.
I found the person. It is a Taiwanese player by the name of JLun44 on Twitter. So if you wanna,
I do wanna check that out, cause yeah. Oh, it's not. I thought it was Sap Zipper, but I don't know.
No, it's Shell Armor. Shell Armor. I think Shell Armor is like better because you have ways of dealing with like Moongus pretty well. Like you got a Chi, you got a Taunt, you got a Rillaboom.
See, okay,
like,
yeah, I'm looking at this team: Chiyu, Torn, Rillaboom, Fluttermane, Urshifu Rapid Strike, and then Goodra. Like, this is how I think Goodra is meant to be run. It's not meant to be run on a stall team, because the thing that you're going to have difficulties with in a stall team or a hard trick room team is that you are too slow. You take too much time to get set up because all of your Pokemon are trying to set up, and then you get outplayed and you boom 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 you get smacked up.
Yeah.
Putting it on a hyper offense team, it's what I think Michael used this term. It's like a fake rage powder where you're scared of the other Pokemon, so you have to hit it, but your setup guy is chilling right next to it. Like that's how I feel like Goodra functions the best. Because you're worried about the Fluttermane. You're not worried about the Goodra right now because it's not a threat. It sets up an iron defense. Fuck, it's a threat now, you know?
Yep.
It's a different kind of thing. I think it's so cool.
It needs Pokemon like that on the team, and it also needs its best friend Rillaboom on the team. It's Fake Out and Grassy Terrain on the same Pokemon right next to Goodra, who's like either also has leftovers and you're getting back 12 a turn, or you Fake Out so that you can set up. It needs all of that. And then also you turn into something that is strong that can put off offensive pressure.
So what are you doing with this team, Brady? You said you're like doing something with it, or you started with it?
Yeah, I've just been playing like a decent amount of it. I've adjusted a couple things, like well, only one thing really. Like the Tornadus, I've changed to Curved Clerk and Terra Dark, just because I feel like that's not bad at all. Otherwise, I've just kept it mostly the same. It's fun. Like Goodra is actually surprisingly good into like hot trick room. So like what you do is you leave like Goodra cheat you just click Snarl and then you shelter, and it's like, oh, that's cool.
Look at my snail. He's going to sit here for the whole game, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Cresselia Hard Trick Room is gonna like tank very, very soon. In
Cresselia Hard Trick Room is like the default whenever Cress is like available. Like,
Cresselia feels so mid right now. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think Balance does all the same shit but better.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's what they discover, right? But like, in at least ever since Cresselia has been like a legal VGC Pokemon, like a lot of people just like default to, oh, it's Cresselia, it's bulky, it's a good Trick Room setter. So I'm going to use Trick Room with Cresselia, and that's all the team is. That's all
I think Cresselia does Trick Room the best. Yeah, that's
that's not. No, but like, that's what they'll default to begin with, and then they'll move on. Like,
I'm trying to say that Cresselia as an archetype, like Trick Room as an archetype, I think will trend down because like all the hyper offense can hit you first anyway because of Chimpo, Sucker Punch, and E-Speed from Dragon Knight. Balance with Fake Out and U-Turn, like. Dog, where'd your Trick Room go? You set it up and now it's gone because they fake out twice. Like,
yeah, that's what I think is gonna happen. We're in like the bulky Trick Room, and then we're gonna learn that balance is better, and then we're gonna learn that hyper offense beats the balances, and then it's gonna be a hyper offense, and then the bulky beats the hyper offense. It's gonna be a circle.
What I want to know is like, why aren't people using like Mimi Ursaluna? Like,
that's what I have been thinking about Mimikyu.
I can see that better because what I was gonna say was
yeah, exactly.
What I was gonna say was I think Cresselia is not Ursaluna's best friend. I think
it's not.
They need to see other people because like Ursaluna is way more offensive, and if you put that next to something that is actually doing things and actually being offensive, because Cresselia sure is not, then it can actually like get the job done. And I think Mimikyu, I think that's you just solved the bear right there. That makes sense to me.
I
get Trick Room, you get offense. Like
I was on my way somewhere the other day, and I was thinking like, oh wait, why don't we just use Mimikyu with Mental Herb? Because it's Cresselia but more threatening, and sure you're healing your own Ursaluna back from the damage, but it doesn't really help if they've already like set up screens on you and are preventing you from doing that damage.
That's another synergy that doesn't make any sense to me. Is because like you what do? You learn a blessing your own Ursaluna, and you get that 25, exactly. And then you're not burned anymore. What? Why? That doesn't make sense. That only works under Trick Room, where you get burned at the end of the turn and moved last with Cresselia. Like,
what could be neat? What if we went back to Terra Fairy Curse Mimikyu? Because I remember that tech a while back, and that was kind of neat. Yeah. I think that could not be bad right now.
Yeah, I mean, I liked that just because like you'd run Life Orb with it, and then you have the option of, even if you're not clicking Curse, you're clicking Life Orb Terra Fairy Play Rough.
Yeah.
With Mimikyu. That's just good. Like, that's solid. Because here's the other thing.
Rubbing my hands together like a little fly. Ooh.
Here's the other thing is, it's a ghost type, so you can hit ghosts, which Ursaluna cannot do.
Exactly,
like,
exactly.
That's perfect. That's everything you need. You just mash Facade then, if that's the case, and double up with a ghost move in that same slot. Because like, who's being a ghost right now? Fluttermane? That's it, really.
Yeah, like, it's crazy because like, what? You don't even have to run Earthquake, like, because a lot of them are running Earthquake. It's like, oh,
I don't get that.
Levitate guy. Use Headlong Rush.
Yeah, blow shit up.
you have a slow Great Tusk literally sitting there, just like use it.
That's what I think. Cresselia is cool, but it doesn't help when you're healing 25% and then getting rid of your burn, so you have to wait to get burnt again next turn. For it to,
I thought this same thing in Sword and Shield when Cresselia, Heatran, and Landorus all dropped at the same time, and people were like, I'm gonna run Chuck. And I know it's way different with Dynamax, but it feels like the same concept right now, where I see Landorus, Cresselia, Heatran on a team, and I'm like, oh cool, I just get the fuck around because they're not gonna do damage. Like, you know what I mean? That style of team I think is too outdated and old from like a VGC perspective. Like, not even like a metagame thing, just like,
it's
dog, that was 2014. That was 2014. Get with the times, you know what I mean?
The reason why it functioned is because in the generations that it did really well in, it had enough tools and the opponent would have not enough tools in order to deal with it. I think now we have so many new things to mess with, new items and new abilities and, just everything. It becomes different enough. I feel like I think Gen 7 is when we started going like, okay, this is super duper different. Does that make sense?
Pair the offensive
terrains
guy with another offensive guy.
Yeah. Woo!
Because
things like that are different.
Press was huge in like Gen 7. Like that was still like a huge thing. Like Press Heatran, like Landorus was like huge, still big then. But like I don't. There was like a huge. Like, it was like partway through Gen 7, and like it completely just like got demolished in Gen 8. Like, when we shifted to like, hey, what about like other guys? You know? Like, there was a point there where Goth was used more, I think. I don't know. I might be remembering. Let's bring up Ecolytic to see. But like that's still a big thing, and I'm sure Crest will still be big like in this format. But like,
oh yeah.
Why?
I think it'll look different. I think it'll look way different, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I think
Yeah.
Ursaluna's best friend isn't Cresselia, and I don't think Cresselia's best friend's Ursaluna either. Like, I think it could... You might even be able to drop Trick Room off Cresselia and run, like, Calm Mind Moonlight or something on, like, Sun. Because how are you killing, like, a Terra Poison Cresselia? Or, like, Terra Grass Cresselia?
Yeah.
Or anything. Dude, yeah. Do Terra Poison in Sun so you recover 75 with Moonlight and you resist, like,
Oh, ew.
everything.
Oh,
Like-
ew.
Yeah.
Oh my
Like,
I
god.
think- Cresselia's biggest issue is that it can't do damage, and I think you might want to start treating it like a Tapu Fini, where it's like, oh, it's not doing damage to start, but it can.
Yeah.
Calm
Well, I
Mind
mean,
a bunch of times.
That's what it's been doing. I feel like it's just that Psychic is also just kind of an iffy typing. And its
Yeah. But,
coverage
like-
isn't the greatest. Also, it used to run Icy Wind instead of just like clicking Trick Room. Like,
Yeah.
That's
Does it,
true.
does it still get that move? If it still gets that move, I
Yeah.
think that would be the trend that I think it takes.
it should.
They
It got
do.
it in BDSP as well. It's like,
Yeah. All right. Then I think start doing that type of shit, because like that makes more sense.
it's
Mhm.
like
Like,
Crest.
that would fit on HO. Like,
yeah, Crest Lander, like, you click Icy Wind. Like, that's what it was doing in, like, it ran Trick Room as, like, an option to be, like, oh, I'm going to choose to do that.
I will control the speed.
But, like,
Mhm.
Crest was huge in 2018, and, like, 5th most used Pokemon behind, Lander, Incin, Feeny, and Kartana. Like,
Damn.
Trick Room isn't the only thing you can do with that thing, and like people aren't seeing that. That's the thing that I'm sort of just hard feeling right now is like people aren't using things like
Correctly.
Different.
They're not doing it right.
I mean, not necessarily correctly, just like
They're not doing it diversified or like
yeah.
exploring a Pokemon's fullest potential.
Yeah, it's what I was saying, like, what we were talking about at the very beginning of, like, everyone's using it in the, you know, point A to point B direction right now, where Hisuian Goodra will be much better once people learn how to use it correctly, just like how Dondozo is, just like how Colossal was, you know?
Yeah, and I think people found it. I think they just need to find the better partner for it, right?
Mhm.
Like, Goodra's moveset, I don't think is going to change for the rest of the gen.
Yeah, no.
Like, it's going to be doing Heavy Slam for Flutterman, because that's going to always be at #1 usage. It's going to Body Press Shelter, because it's... Yeah, that makes sense. And it's going to, like, run either Life Dew or Protect for support.
Yeah.
So, like, what do you put next to that is like, the main question, right?
Mhm,
Like,
mhm.
I've seen people try to run Assault Vest Goodra with, like, same attacks, like Heavy Slam, and then, like, Stabs, Flash Cannon, and Draco, or, like, Muddy Water or Flamethrower, because it gets a coverage monster.
Mhm.
Don't do that. It doesn't need to do that. That's not what it's doing the best, right? Like, it's only relevant because it's setting up and can body press you. It's the same concept as Registeel in my head, as what Registeel was doing last gen.
But the thing is that I can totally see, it makes me think Hisuian Goodra is like mini Dialga. I could totally see it spamming Calm Mind and just going crazy.
Doesn't get calm.
It doesn't get Calm Mind. Never mind, this Pokemon's shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
No. I'm
my
lying,
biggest
I'm lying, I
issue,
love him.
my biggest issue with Goodra right now, is that, like, I'm very biased, and the team that I'm running can crush both forms of Goodra, like if it's Sap Zipper or Overcoat,
Mhm.
or no, those are the same thing. Sap Zipper or the crit one, Shell Armor.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you give me the information, and I'm chilling, right?
Mhm.
I don't think all teams will trend towards what my team looks like, but I think the biggest issue with Goodra right now is that if it ever hits the point where it's like, fuck, I need Shell Armor more than I need Sap Zipper,
Mhm.
Amoonguss just starts sporing you and you're not a Pokemon anymore. Like, that's
Yeah.
the worst part of Goodra to me, is that you just fold to Amoonguss if you're built not for Amoonguss specifically. And then you might end up folding to Urshifu if if that's the case. Like, I don't know. It gets to pick what beats it, but both of what beats it are very relevant right now. And I don't think either are like things you want to be getting beat by.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, and I know I said Urshifu beats Goodra. I'm not talking about the rapid one. Like, yeah, you can chip more with with surging strikes, but I'm talking about Urshifu Dark, because that's my sleeper pick of regulation D right now. Is you just choice band a wicked blow Urshifu, you put it on Tailwind, and I think that is gonna pop off at one of these online tournaments soon. Like,
Hey, you wanna know what the most popular Terra typing for that Pokemon is right now?
very, I know.
Is very.
Let it commit the Terra. I that's another thing about Goodra, is that like if it commits its Terra, I'm honestly glad, because it means nothing else is, and it's not immediately using its Terra. Goodra only ever uses its Terra defensively, is what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like a Dondozo situation where it's like, oh fuck, now I can hit my water type that otherwise walled it with grass move, or like Landorus versus Heatran, which is the funniest interaction right now, where it's like, I'm gonna hit you with ground move, and then Heatran's like, nuh-uh, I'm gonna turn to a grass type, and Landorus is like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna turn to a flying type, how about that?
Terrible life, no.
Nuh-uh.
Fuck you mean, nuh-uh.
Someone make that edit, please. Fuck you mean, nuh-uh. Mini Airstream.
If either of you are editing a video in which that interaction happens, I need that clip. For that fuck you mean, nuh-uh. Boof. That's
Regulation D is fun. I'm not gonna lie, I think I like this format more than Reg C.
That's fair.
Can't lie.
That's fair. It's
Can't
pretty
lie.
good.
And I know that makes a lot of sense, because Iron Bundle Chi Fluttermane trended down. A lot of y'all know how I feel about that. But I think it's more than that. I think it's like the combinations of Pokemon feel more like unique now.
Yeah.
And like the teams that you're running are very different on all 6 months too. Right? Like, I'm not stapling Chi Fluttermane on every single team like I was in Reg C, because it just doesn't fit like that, right? Because like Rillaboom, Urshifu, Heatran, I also all of a sudden I don't need Chi-Yu anymore. And I'm gonna run like Lando on that team instead or something. Grimmsnarl's back. I think I really like that.
I agree. I really like Grimmsnarl right now.
I don't.
Grimmsnarl, I think, came up because the genies came up. And it's untauntable prankster guy.
Yeah.
And I think that is Grimmsnarl's like biggest, like, you know that one meme that's like the guy standing on the Olympic podium and he's like third, but he's celebrating like crazy?
Yeah.
That's Grimmsnarl, because it's like the support he provides is fucking amazing, but it's Grimmsnarl. It's never gonna like run the shit, you know what I mean?
Well, no, he's running the shit from the background. He's the guy in the chair. He's doing his job well.
He's the guy in the chair.
He's the guy in the chair. He's setting up screens. He's making sure you don't get status. He's prankster taunting the prankster taunters. He's doing his job. He's helping you out, paving the way for you.
Look at us.
He's my homie. I love this guy.
Landorus be like, Jarvis, set up my light screen, please. And then earthquakes the Fluttermane Chi. The Grimmsnarl still takes the hit, and he's like, yes, boss.
Jarvis, paralyze this man real quick. Thank you. I'm naming my Grimmsnarl Jarvis.
That's fire. I think doing that will make me play way better at every tournament.
Just picture Grimmsnarl saying that every time you click a move.
Twisty nuts.
Yeah, Jarvis twists his nuts and clicks Spirit Blade.
Dies.
The amount of serotonin I will get per turn clicking moves with Grimmsnarl will skyrocket.
Oh my god, yes. I love this guy. I love this guy. He's so funny.
Jarvis, drop all of his stats parting.
Silly ass. No, I like that there's some Sword and Shield. I'm gonna be a Corviknight fan till the day I die. I'm glad that Corviknight can function pretty alright right now. I don't think he's going to go crazy with it, but I think that I think we're in the you're either hyper offense, your click one setup move, or I'm going to set up Trick Room very slowly. Hi guys, just give me a moment, just give me a second. Hey, just give me 1 second. Hold on.
Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna start attacking you on turn 5.
On turn 3. Give me a second, okay? Truce.
Let my guy get burned, man. Just chill out.
Yeah.
That's another thing about Trick Room is that like Urshifu just folds it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't see Trick Room as like the most viable out of any of the archetypes at all right now.
I'm
Not even
gonna
close.
Will-O-Wisp my Ursaluna so we can get burnt quicker.
Yeah.
I can run bulletproof so I can't get hit by Shadow Ball. Yeah.
Is that Ursaluna's other ability?
Yeah. Well,
That's why
it's
it's
got
already
guts
normal
and
type.
bulletproof. So I think Moonblast is also a bulletproof move. Or
So
like, I don't know.
Moonblast is not ballistic, no,
Oh.
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Not ballistic cries.
Something that Marcos might have put me onto was Belly Drum Ursaluna.
I was seeing him talk about that. Yeah.
Me, and it gets Swords Dance too, so I think that one might be the more like accurate way to do this.
Yeah.
But like me, Pengy, and Marcos were all recording the Showdown live, and it was like follow me plus Ursaluna lead with something with Trick Room in the back, and I was like, oh my god, that's insanely strong. Like, like most of the easiest way to handle Trick Room right now is to like save your thing to hit Ursaluna until Ursaluna comes out on the field, right? And
Yeah.
then you just trade one for one.
But he posted the spread for that bulky Ursaluna, that belly drum Ursaluna a while ago, and I screenshotted it, and I had no clue where that screenshot is.
Don't do that bulky one. No, you want to be running an attack stat on the guy
Well,
with
yeah,
140
but
attack. That's a Marco spread.
I'm a EV him so that he can at least live, XYZ. But I wonder if you can get him to live a Surging Strikes. Surely.
You can't. That is what that spread does. It's
Okay.
just white. Also, Terra Grass is
Oh yeah, that's a little bit much. You don't need to go that far.
but the biggest thing was that it's lead Ursaluna.
Mhm.
And I don't think a lot of teams are prepared for lead Ursaluna.
I
right
agree.
now.
Because, most of the time,
Wait,
lead
what?
Ursaluna is just Ursaluna Trick Room Center, and then you have
Yeah.
to protect and wait for a turn.
No, I'm saying lead Ursaluna that can guarantee its move off. Like Ursaluna plus follow me guy.
Yeah, with plus follow me guy, I like that a lot
Yeah.
more
Like
because
start
it gives you more
start
momentum.
building them like how Iron Hands was built in Reg C.
Exactly.
Where it's like safety goggles and like sword stance and kill the shit out of you moves.
Iron
Like I think
paws.
that's where 'cause it gets Drain Punch.
It do.
I do think that's gonna be where Ursaluna trends to, because like that's I think more immediately threatening than like the joke that you were just telling of like, hey, give me a minute.
I think it's like Annihilate and Iron Hands had a baby, and
Yeah.
the result is guy who clicks one setup move because that's all he needs now gets all of his health back with Drain Punch. And then
Yeah.
what's tricky is that he does kind of have 4 move slot syndrome, because you want to run a ground move, you're going to want to run a normal move for Facade if you're Guts, and you're going to want to run Drain Punch, and then like, is it Protect, is it setup move, He gets a lot of neat things.
I'm thinking Swords Dance, Protect, Facade, Headlong, or maybe like drop Protect and you do go Drain Punch. Maybe I don't think Drain Punch.
If your follow me guy is Indeedee, then I think dropping Protect for Drain Punch could be worth it, because you don't have to worry about getting faked out.
Yeah,
I could see that.
because like I think this goes crazy, because like a lot of what Trick Room is doing right now is it's getting Trick Room up early. Doug, if you just stop doing that shit and you get Trick Room on turns like maybe
literally.
even like 2 or like 3,
Like,
that can go such a long way.
because Ursaluna is bulky enough to be able to set up, and I think that's what they put their whole game plan into Ursaluna. Now, if you're not leading with Trick Room, you lead wrong. Okay, I just click follow me and switch out Ursaluna into something else that gives me a better position. Like it's a lot more open. It's the same thing when Dondozo Tatsugiri was first a thing and people would lead them both at the same time. No, you gotta be adjustable.
This is the same reason why balance trends up always at like this exact point of the format, is because people just do like balls to the wall offense to start with no defensive backbone. Balance is just the exact same strategies but with a defensive backbone, so you get to pick when you do it, right?
Yeah.
Like Rillaboom, Urshifu, and I think Landorus is another great example of this. Guys with U-turn, really.
Yeah.
They let you pick when you set your shit up, right? Like, you fake out with a Rillaboom, yeah, you could set up on the same turn. Or you could U-turn with the Rillaboom, protect with the guy that was going to set up, and do the exact same shit with another guy later in the game, because most of what people do is, like, if you get them to blow their speed shit early, then it's very helpful. Right? Like, think about how easy it is to handle a Tornadus that clicks Tailwind turn 1, as opposed to a Tornadus that's just, like, not clicking Tailwind until the turn that you try to outspeed them, then it clicks Tailwind. It's like, fuck! Right?
Yeah,
but, like, that's, I think, why balance is going to be king for the rest of this format is because like when you do your shit, when you control your speed, when you get your strat off, that's going to be the
When Rillaboom and Iron Hands on the same team. Pivot, fake out, pivot, fake out, pivot, fake out. Just do whatever the fuck you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think this is the same reason why Colossal.
yeah.
This is the same reason why Colossal went crazy in Unite, by the way. Where it's like, you have your thing. You have your Aqua Jet into weakness policy. That's your thing. When do you do it? That's what matters.
Something, I know we're getting kind of near the end, but I want to bring up one more Regulation D related thing that I've been thinking about. Where the fuck is Enamorous?
That thing sucks.
Where is she? it's okay, but I don't get how, because Fairy's very good right now. Both of its forms can function in both of the, like, it functions as a hyper offense, it functions as a balance, it functions as a trick room. You know, just pick the right form. It's so, like, I don't know, contrary superpower just seems, I guess there's not a lot of Intimidate guys right now. I don't know. It's kind of crazy to me that she's just not around at all.
I think she wants to do a lot of different things. Like, you want to be contrary superpower physical attacker, but you also want to be special attacker because it's your higher stat.
Yeah.
With like Springtide Storm, but then you need support with
Springtide Storm. It gets Dazzling Gleam. It gets Dazzling Gleam.
It has to run Dazzling Gleam because Springtide Storm for some fucking reason doesn't even work on Rain. It doesn't get the accuracy boost like the other ones do. Yeah, and like it needs Thunderous next to it, but it also needs like to be the form that's not weak to Amoonguss. Like it needs too much, and also Fluttermane's right there is the main.
Yeah,
like,
I could get that.
More effort Fluttermane. So
I don't know. I think it could still be all right. I think the speed tier is the main thing holding it back. So I feel like on a balanced team where you can get it in a position to like. It was funny, I was seeing jokes about it in the beginning of the format saying, okay, so we're gonna all switch over to Cute Charm, Calm Mind, and Amorous at some point, so it's gonna be optimal to run all female Pokemon so you won't get Cute Charmed.
Yeah, I think the one that I can see popping off is the Turtle one, even though I think that's the worst form, is because it might be like a direct counter to a certain type of balance.
No,
like,
I think the Turtle one's fantastic. It's, you know, you get fire moves, you're immune to Amoonguss anyway. It still gets crazy special coverage, and you can still do Calm Mind setup, just sit there and become fat, you know?
Yeah.
I could see it being good on balance.
I think it'll do the same shit that Goodra's doing right now with like Calm Mind and then Draining Kiss.
Ooh,
like budget
does.
Tapu Fini.
It does get that, actually. Huh. That's another thing. No horses either. No Spectre, no Glastrier. My friend Dieter's running Spectre with Nasty Plot, Draining Kiss, which I respect the fuck out of. But at the like literally day one of the format, I ran 4 ice types on a snow team because I realized that Glastrier next to Chenpao kind of goes insane. Like, Chenpao's in Trick Room, but you just click Sucker Punch anyway.
Yeah. On that 4 ice type team that you had, you put me onto Glastrier with Clear Amulet.
I think
like,
Clear Amulet, Glastrier, and Slow King with Chilly Reception and Trick Room is
exactly.
solid.
That's what I'm thinking of, right? It's like, it's the same concept of, and I think this is going to be like the weirdest form of Trick Room ever, but I think it's just a stronger one of what is currently out, because like, you do that Mimikyu Ursaluna stuff that you were talking about right there. You put Chilly Reception Trick Room on that guy with Glastrier on the team, and it's all of a sudden like a Trick Room team that is like, hey, I can hit way harder than your Trick Room team.
Wait, let me write that down.
You put me onto Glastrier because it's like, oh my god, we were out here running White Herb on that fucker last generation. That's how down bad we were, and now we have Clear Amulet, which is better. So.
I think Glastrier is another one of those underrated Pokemon because what are its main weaknesses? Getting intimidated, we have an item for that. It's typing, we have a thing for that. Just Terra. Like
Terra and also just Snow. Also Snow.
Also
it
Snow.
makes it way
exactly.
better versus the physical attackers.
Like
get Ice Spinner.
It doesn't get Ice Spinner, what the fuck? Yeah, it still only gets Icicle Crash, doesn't it?
But honestly, I think it's gonna be clicking its support, or it's not support, its coverage moves more often, like heavy slamming the Fluttermanes and stomping tantruming the Heatrans and you know, all that stuff.
I wish it got a fire
Rock
move.
Slide too.
Yeah.
You can give it a fire move. You can Terra Blast Fire.
True. True. I was gonna say if it had a fire move, I could just Terra Fire and then, you know, Clear Amulet Fire type. Can't get intimidated. Can't get burnt.
It does get Swords Dance.
It does get Swords Dance. I feel like it's like Ursaluna. Like, it performs the same job that Ursaluna does, but a little differently. He's neat, and it has fucking Moxie. You're immune to Intimidate, and you have Moxie. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So that's my sleeper pick. Brady's sleeper pick is Bramblegast. What is
My
yours,
sleeper
Michael?
pick. I think my sleeper pick's gotta be. Oh, I'm put on the spot here. I'm not. Moltres Galar.
Okay.
I'm not biased at all.
It does get U-turn, by the way. I wasn't sure if you knew that.
Moltres?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that last gen too.
Yeah.
U-turn Snarl. I think people might want to try an Assault Vest set just to see if it works, but I don't think fuck it, baby. I love nasty fiery red, very egregious. Get berserk, get a citrus berry, get a leftovers on that bitch. Put some screens up. I love that Pokemon.
Fat ass bird. We love our fat
Strong
birds.
ass bird.
We love our fat birds.
I don't want my sleeper pick to be Bramblegast, so I'm gonna
That's
pick
fair, I'm
something
sorry.
different.
I'm sorry.
Regular Moltres is pretty cool.
I do like regular
That
Moltres.
one is pretty cool.
He's pretty cool.
Rocky
this is
helmet,
why.
Rocky helmet, flame body. Ooh, baby.
Ooh.
And this
Yeah,
is why
that guy.
me and Brady are like yin and yang. Pick the other guy that isn't.
And I have an entirely different fat bird. We all love fat birds on this podcast.
like
your
From the
Regular
Fat
Zap.
Bird podcast.
comment your favorite fat bird down below.
That's the comment question. Yeah, I like that.
Zapdos, I agree. Zapdos feels like it could be pretty solid as well.
Regular Zapdos, static. You just do the same thing you would do with Moltres, just now you're not like super effectively weak to a true rapid strike, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You
Also,
don't have to
static is
tear
the most stupid ability of all time ever. So.
It's so dumb.
I'm weak to physical attackers.
Ooh.
Oh wait, Zapdos. Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. Discquake could go kind of crazy this generation with Terra being able to just do more damage.
I've been thinking about banded Garchomp and just saying fuck it. So I can see that.
I listen.
I
You got
think-
me on Swords Dance Garchomp. That's as far as I go.
Yeah, I think I was gonna say the same thing. I think it's about the same kind of crackheadery as like Choice Band Dondozo.
Kill,
Speaking
kill.
of which,
Kill,
I
mother,
think
die, kill.
I think I would like to eat Choice Band. I think I would.
What is the
Didn't
difference?
Solar Dondozo win NAIC?
It did do that, yeah.
But it was yawn leftovers, like bulky.
There
guy.
was no Tatsugiri
Mhm.
at NAIC. You know where there is Tatsugiri?
In the Patreon.
Yeah, man, he got it.
and they're all hygienic.
I wanted
They all
to
smell very good.
I wanted to keep the pause for as long as possible. That was terrible.
That would have looked like a complete bonus.
Do you know what a
I-
good special attacker is? Fluttermane!
Fluttermane!
Or Sneeb.
I said Sneeb.
Sneeb is a good
Sneeb's
special attacker.
attack. That's its only special attack. That's its only stat.
He's got some speed. He's got some speed.
Anyway, thank you to the Patreons, for subscribing. Specifically for Crazy Carlton, Shreb, Shelder, Elden Allen, Joseph B, Ken Marco, Plumber, Professor Germs, and Upsmash for subscribing, as well as everybody else.
You're all
Bedrin.
Patreon sub to the Patreon.
Patreon more FFAs soon because Marcos isn't. We're not gonna record one.
We can record during the week.
True,
Oh, yeah.
because now Brady works for Marcos.
Yeah, forgot about that.
But
Once he
yeah,
commissions me, I'll join the union, guys. Don't worry, I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
I'm on my way.
I'm on my way. I'm on my
To
way.
end the podcast, I will tell you all about an encounter that I had. I saw a car that was a Tesla with the number plate Dogecoin yesterday.
Oh!
So
Ah!
I thought about it. I thought about taking one for the team. But at the end of the day, I've got people in my life that I like too much to give it up for something like that. So
Wow.
funnily enough, that's the second time I've seen him. I
What
don't
the
think
fuck?
I mentioned it on the podcast the first time, but the second time I certainly did.
You've never mentioned it to either, but that's crazy.
I feel like I've mentioned it to Michael. Surely.
I think I remember. I remember vaguely. I don't remember the wording. I might have ended it all. I don't remember that part.
I might have taken one for the team.
I will
Like
be
not
real.
not end it all as in like take me out, but like, you know, sacrifice myself to have one less Elon Musk fan on this earth. So
Interesting decision.
I will say I hate the LA Convention Center now because having to walk past the crypto.com arena every day all weekend last weekend was torture. Why the fuck did they do that? It was just like the Staples Center or something. Get a reasonable sponsor that sells office supplies, not fucking stocks, but with more risk involved. Anyway.
I hope you all have a good day.
I hope we don't have any crypto fans. I'm sorry, guys.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.